Hello again everyone, Age of June here, and we're back with another League of Legends single-player shoutcast. Gonna be casting Azir here. This is actually Faker. I believe I've had this exact character on my channel before. Pretty sure it was this account anyway. And I wanted to go ahead and check out his Azir play. I heard on Reddit that it was amazing to see, and there's actually a highlight video of it. I'm gonna try to remember to link in the description of this video. If I don't do it and you want to see it, let me know, and I will do my best to go ahead and find said video and link it. But I did see some calls in there asking for the whole game, and I wanted to go ahead and check it out. I definitely wanted to see as well him actually. I wanted to concentrate on him. So I went ahead and did so. There's actually a bit of an invade happening over there. He's going to go ahead and start dancing. But I wanted to go ahead and see what he does, and just to possibly give everyone some ideas of how to play Azir. He's got other games. A lot of them don't go so well. Some of them do, but a lot of them are pretty sad looking, just based on the score and everything. But I have a feeling that, as time goes by, he'll get better, just like everybody else, and we'll see a vastly improved Faker. These guys look like they want to get that Fiddlesticks, but he's... Oh, man. Is he going to head over there to the red? If he does, that's going to be very bad for him. He's going to get picked up by those wards. He is headed over to the red buff. He's going to get picked up by these wards. Oh, man. Down goes the Kale. Kale had no chance there whatsoever. She walked into that bush. She went down. That told Fiddle to get the heck out of there. They are going to go ahead and leave, though, which means Fiddle is actually going to be able to get his red buff. And they're not invading for that. But that is first blood there. So I'm going to go ahead and come on down here. Go ahead and put everybody in the order. We've got a Kale top played by KFO versus Gnar played by SKT T1's Marine. Or Marin? I'm going to go with Marine. I don't know, though. In the mid lane, we've got Rise, interestingly, played by JH Nuclear versus Faker playing the Azir here. Down in the bot lane, we've got Corky played by Poker Emperor versus Ezreal. Sona versus Janna. Stop that. Janna's played by Borisal. Lee Sin's played by Steven Felix and SKT1 Benji. Wow. Anyway, Benji is playing the Fiddlesticks. So there we go. Already a lot of harass coming in here onto Azir. And Rise is just ripping him apart this early. He actually was able to turn that around pretty well, though, using, I believe that was Exhaust. That was Exhaust, yes. So that actually was a pretty good thing. Interestingly, Rise has Ghost and Flash. Benji came up for a gank, but Rise, of course, was ready. He was already over here, so he had no problem avoiding that one. Both of them were forced to go ahead and pop their potions. Not as many there for the Rise. Rise still has one left, whereas Faker does not. So definitely a good sign for the Rise there. He's going to have a lot more sustain. On the plus side for Faker, he does actually have a lot of range with those minions there. He's already got a level in Q as well. Actually, 2 levels in Q. So he went, I believe, for the... well, you have to go for the soldiers first, obviously. And then his next 2 levels, he went ahead and put them into that Q so they can go ahead and charge forward. It's, we'll see if it works. He went back. All he did, though, he bought a No Magic Mantle, which honestly is a really good buy versus Rise. That's really going to hurt Rise a lot. And then, of course, a ward. So that's actually a fairly early back. Rise is doing the same. I'm not sure what Faker's doing here. Taking quite a bit of minion damage there. He'll be fine, though. His passive regen's easily going to be able to heal that all back up. And we'll see how he ends up doing here. But he should be able to get pretty much all of this CS, so he actually didn't miss very much at all, given the fact, due to the fact that Rise was not able to push very fast at all. Rise is really never able to push really fast. That's something I've definitely noticed. It sucks as you Rise if you're trying to push. But it's okay. It's great for Faker here. He's able to go ahead and get all the CS, like I mentioned. And the wave is still actually pushed to his tower because he made sure not to push it out. Which means Rise actually has to go pretty far out here. We've got a gank coming in from Fiddle. There's the fear. The Ghost is popped by Rise. Rise is already down to half health, though. The teleport comes in from Gnar. And the question is, will he be able to finish off that Fiddlesticks? He jumped off of him, actually. In goes Faker onto Rise, gets the flash. That is both of Rise's summoner spells. If Gnar goes back in, he's going to have a pretty bad time because the Rise is not going to be able to come back in. On the other hand, though, Sona and Lee Sin are here. In goes the Lee Sin, gets the slow, I believe. But the fear from Fiddle was able to keep him alive, followed by the flash from Faker, keeping him alive as well. And all in all, it ended up being just summoners traded. No really big deal. Faker's gone back. He's got a Fairy Charm now, get a little bit of mana regen. And we'll probably see Rise go back pretty soon here as well, as he is at half health and almost out of mana already. He's got the tier, which is good, as he's able to go ahead and start stacking it up. But he's still having a pretty tough time up here. And again, like I said, he's out of mana, which means he's pretty much useless as it is. If he doesn't go back, he's going to have a bad time. The problem, of course, actually, it's not much of a problem because he did choose to go back a little later, but the way the minion waves are, it's going to be a while before they're going to get there. Oh, man, he still has not managed to go back. He got a little bit afraid there of Azir, so decided against going back. That's going to really delay his return, and that's going to be great here for Faker because he's going to get almost definitely going to be able to shove this to the tower before Rise gets here, which means Rise is going to miss a decent amount of this. It's got a cannon minion, so he's not going to miss too much, but he definitely will miss at least the cannon minion, and we just saw one minion go down beforehand as well. He may actually end up missing pretty much all of it. Alright, so he's going to be able to get one of those CS. He also got the experience for a different one. Again, Rise is not going to be able to shove this. The minion wave is already shoving towards his tower, and Rise is really bad at shoving. So that's going to give Faker time to get back up here with no problem whatsoever, and he's going to be able to go ahead and get that CS again, which really is just kind of widening the gap here. Sona just DC'd, which kind of sucks. Hopefully she'll be back soon. I don't know, though. I didn't watch this one beforehand because I thought if somebody's going to make a list of, awesome plays in the game, you wouldn't want to do it in a 4 versus 5, right? We'll see, though. We'll see. But we've actually got Rise being zoned here by Faker now. So Azir is actually managing to go ahead and bully Rise out of lane. Lots of MIA pings there, which, honestly, given the fact that, Sona is MIA, given the fact that she's gone, I can definitely understand that. There's also a gank coming up here. Blue buff gonna go ahead and go on over to Faker here. Probably a good thing. Nice thing for him to be able to have. That is some huge auto attack range there. That's pretty awesome. I like the idea of this champion, to tell you the truth. I wanted to get him, and then I've read more and more about him. I love the idea. I'm not so sure I like the implementation because honestly he's seemed really underwhelming from everything I've seen. Everything I've seen, he's had massive problems. I mean, not even just the bugs. He seems very weak. Eventually, of course, he will be strong. But for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and avoid him. I was originally going to buy the... Nice. I was going to go ahead and buy the package there with his skin and everything. Ooh, in comes the Lee Sin, but we do have a Fiddlesticks in there. In goes the ult, and they are going to be able to take down this Lee Sin. Just kidding. Just kidding. Lee Sin will actually be able to live that. Barely, but he did live it with a very nice kick there. And a flash as well to keep him alive. But that gank did not go at all as planned for Lee Sin there. And Faker's actually able to harass this Rise without taking turret damage there from that range, it looked like. Either that or he timed it just right. I'm not sure. Actually, I think it probably was a timing issue there. Anyway, he's doing his best just to go ahead and shove this forward. Rise is going to have to go get the blue buff, which means he's going to miss out on a decent amount of this. Never mind, he's going to be able to get back in time. He'll miss 1 or 2 CS, but that's not really a big deal. And, of course, Faker's still shoving it forward, doing what he can to go ahead and harass the Rise. One thing to think about, while, Rise not doing so good at the moment, he's got a nasty late game. From what I understand, I'm not really that impressed with Azir's late game. So, if it ends up going to the late game, I don't see things going well for Faker, unless, of course, that Sona doesn't reconnect. I really, really hope she comes back, though. I think that might have been there. Somebody bought a lens. Sweeping lens? Yeah, it was a sweeping lens buy. But I don't know if it was her. Might also have been Jana. Anyway, Faker continuing to shove this forward. And just continuing just to deprive the Rise of the CS here. Actually, gonna have to rearrange these. I did go ahead, scroll forward to make sure that the Jana, or the Sona does indeed come back. She does, so I'm gonna continue casting the game. Honestly, I really don't like casting games that are 4 versus 5s because it just ruins everything. So she does come back, and I wanted to go ahead and continue on casting it because of that, but it did put everybody out of order. But they're back in order, so we can go ahead and take a look at the CS difference. Rise actually isn't that far behind, honestly. He's 4 CS behind. This wave is going to be going to Faker, which is going to widen that gap again. So he's pretty much 1 wave behind. That's really how you can look at it. He's 1 wave behind, which honestly is not that bad. He's going top right now to go ahead and try to get a gank here. They're going in onto Gnar. Looks like they're probably going to be able to get him. No, just kidding. The fact that Rise was able to get in here just in time to save him and take down the Kale, that's actually a really bad thing for him. And they're going to be able to take down the Fiddle as well. There's really no response, but Faker's doing his best to go ahead and take down the tower, given the fact that they're not here. The Ezreal ulti probably going to go ahead and clear out these minions, which is great for them. Oh, nice interrupt to the back. Just kidding. Not aimed for the minions at all, but instead going for the Nard to try to get the kill, or at least just to interrupt the back. And he did indeed interrupt that back. And we've got Faker continuing to shove here, punishing Rise for his roam there. And honestly, he's widened the gap to almost, but not quite 20 CS. He's also done a lot of damage to this tower, which, I mean, that's really what he has to do. I don't know that he would have been able to safely roam by himself or follow Rise. I think that probably would have ended up getting him killed. So instead, he decided to go ahead and stick it out at the stick it out in his lane and just do what he could to go ahead and punish the Rise. Again, now Rise is back. He's a level. Actually, no, they're about even. They're even on levels. I think he's a little behind on XP. Actually, pretty much tied there. And in comes the Lee Sin, lands the kick. Faker lands the ultimate there, of course, and shoves them back. He actually should be able to get out of this without too much of an issue. Dodges the hit there from the Lee Sin Q, so he's not going to get re-engaged on, and he is actually going to escape this with no problem. You see a red thing around the edges. It's actually Fraps doing that. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's no big deal, though. No big deal. But nice dodge there by Faker, getting out of that without dying, which is actually pretty impressive given the fact that he was hit there pretty hard by that Lee Sin kick. And it really shoved him out of position, but of course he does have that ult, which is really good disengage. And that definitely helped him out there a lot. He's now going to be able to come in here and go in and help them with the dragon. Great idea there. Oh. Almost actually grabbed that Wraith there, which would have been really funny. I'm not sure it'd be worth a ultimate, but it would have been funny. And there is the reconnecting Sona finally, which is great news. Still sucks that it lasted this long before she was able to reconnect. I mean, that is a huge amount of time for Corki to have to 2 versus 1. But the plus side for him, if we look at his XP, he's actually, no, actually, there's no plus side at all. He's definitely behind the Ezreal. He's way behind on CS as well. So, I mean, that is a huge, huge issue for this blue team. They got put way behind by that. A little bit more damage coming in here onto this tower again, thanks to that shove there, and it's getting pretty low here. It's only got a couple more auto attacks left before it dies. Rise is headed back, whereas Azir actually did not. Okay, decided against it because he actually did have a ward there, so he knew that Faker decided not to go back. I guess Faker was either just baiting it, or more likely he was just trying to stay safe as long as he could, because he knew he was not going to be able to do anything else, because he's got to worry about a gank. Got that tower, though, and put a tower of his own there, and that means that Lee Sin is not going to be able to gank this. He's trying to come back there. Out comes that ultimate there, and he tried to follow through with the Q. Did not end up working, though, because you cannot dash through the Azir ultimate, which you think you would have known by now, but I guess, you know, Azir is still a pretty new champion. On the plus side for the blue team, Fiddlesticks did just completely waste his ult there, because I guess he too thought that it was going to go through there, but it actually did not. Red team's turret has been destroyed. Oh, that thing. Yeah. Gotta look at the image. You can't go following by the things they say. I found that out in a game that I had in Azir on my side. Kind of started panicking a little bit when it said our tower went down. It didn't. Kale, you gonna do this? Yeah, she's gonna do this, and Janna's actually there as well. Fiddlesticks is there too, but Fiddlesticks honestly doesn't have that much damage without his ultimate. So they definitely did go ahead and back off there, and Kale just carried on up there. But we're back down here now to Azir, as he is back to lane. I'm gonna see exactly what he's building here. He got the Athena's and Holy Grail just to get that mana sustain, and he's got Sorcerer's Shoes. That's about all he has right now. I know a lot of people are saying to build mad cooldown reduction on him, which, I mean, honestly, that makes sense. And Athena's Holy Grail actually does have that cooldown reduction. His passive, of course, scales with cooldown reduction. It increases his attack speed based on cooldown reduction. So, I can definitely see why they would say go ahead and get that cooldown reduction. I have heard some people say it's not quite worth it. It doesn't scale enough. I don't know whether that's actually the case, or they're just people who don't really know how to play him. But, either way, that's what they say. Obviously, Faker does not agree yet. We'll see what he ends up going next, though, because honestly, this item is really pretty much a staple on mages, especially mana-hungry mages. And he does kind of strike me as somewhat of a mana-hungry mage. So, he may have just gone that for the mana regen more than the cooldown reduction. We'll just see, though. Looks like he thought about going for a roam up there, decided against it. Lee Sin was seen as well, and of course, Gnar is in big Gnar form. So he came back down here to go ahead and shove this a lot. He has really just been doing that the entire game. Nothing more than just shoving. It's gotten him a big hunk of gold, I would say, compared to the Rise. Actually, only a 200 gold difference, which is more than a little surprising to me. Did not expect that at all. Because, I mean, the Rise, it is 3 assists. But I didn't think it was quite that big of a difference. But anyway, he's going to go ahead and just roam through his own jungle now. Interesting to see. I guess he'll head back over to the mid lane after. Actually, he'll probably go back, would be my guess. Nope. Nope, my guess is wrong. So interesting to see how they choose to do this. I mean, he walked all the way over there. Instead of going for, like, wraiths or something, he went for the white instead, which is kind of strange to me. Ezreal ulti coming through yet again. Actually going to clear out some of the CS for Gale. Probably not all that appreciated by Kale, honestly. Looks a little harder for her. But it's alright. We're on Faker anyway. We don't care about Kale. And he's just continuing to shove this. I have a feeling we'll see a lot of that. He definitely seems to be doing a lot of that against this Rise. Just shove forward, fall back. Shove forward, fall back. Rise does have his wave clear now, though, so it's not going to be nearly as terrible for him, as he's just able to go ahead. I mean, yeah, he's got to use his ultimate to do it, but it's up so often that he's able to do it pretty reliably now. And there we go. Back to the shoving thing. And then we'll see. My guess would be back after this. How much gold is he carrying right now? 1,500. He's probably actually waiting for the 1,600 of... Yeah, he's going to go for that. Oh, man. Better watch out for that Lee Sin. Nope, he's good. He's good. You're probably going to wait for the 1,600 gold of Needlessly Large Rod if he's going for something like that. His jungler's actually getting caught out there. Fiddlesticks is definitely going to die. And he's just continuing to shove. Rise is really forced to remain mid at the moment. If he doesn't, he's going to take even more damage on his inner turret. So, really, what Azir is doing here is just keeping Rise here. He's just making sure that Rise can't go anywhere at all. They are going to go ahead and go... Did he just miss his Q on a blue buff? He did. They are going to go ahead and try to steal this and probably succeed. Yeah, it actually goes to the Lee Sin, however, so that's actually pretty good news for them. The fact that Ezreal was there was able to go ahead and force them to use Smite. That also means Smite is on cooldown right now. They're going to go for this Dragon. It's kind of risky, given the fact that, like I said, Smite's on cooldown. But on the plus side for the blue team, Fiddlesticks is way the heck back there. There we go. Lee Sin was able to go ahead and secure that. And Azir is actually ripping them apart, so if they don't watch out, they're going to go down. He's trying to chase him down. Now he's probably going to go ahead and back off here. And there is a red ping onto that inner tower now, because the blue team's going to have to go back after that. They lost a lot of life. The Rise, of course, could head on over, but he's not going to be able to defend this alone. he doesn't have quite that good of wave clear. His ranges are too small. In order to get in range to go ahead and wave clear, he's got to get way too close. And yeah, they're just able to burst down this tower long before he gets here. So nicely done by them. In the meantime, though, the bot lane for the blue team actually did go ahead and take down that Ezreal. So, oh, Gnar was there as well. He was hiding. I didn't see him. No cue for you. Alright, so he did actually wait. Yeah, it was the needlessly large rod that he was waiting for. So I guess it's probably going to be a death cap. And we'll see later if he ends up building more cooldown reduction or what. I don't know. Some people were saying, you know, Stinger is a really good item. Ooh, flashes for this. He wants this Lee Sin. He's going for it. And we'll see if he ends up going. He does land the... Oh, one more shot! Oh, man. Gnar came in, though, as well as Rise. Fiddlestick's ulti comes out. And honestly, it's just going to be a disengage from both teams. Rise is continuing to press this, though. Kale's getting really low. She goes down. The flash comes out. That is a Fiddlesticks getting helplessly low. He's going to go down as well to Gnar. And that is actually going to be a 2 for 0. Not looking too good here for the blue team. Red team. Blue team continuing to shove this. And Azir actually doing some damage there again to that Lee Sin. But Lee Sin is not quite dead yet. Ezreal just 1Q, that Lee Sin's dead. In they go, though. Rise goes down to Azir. They're going to be able to take down the Gnar as well, but Gnar was able to finish off Azir first. And will Lee Sin be able to escape this? He definitely is. Ezreal does not have his ultimate, and he's not going to be able to get there in time. The teleport coming out here. We'll see probably Kale go for the blue buff or something. No? Apparently she wants the Lee Sin. She's going to come around from behind. Oh. Surprise, Sona. Surprise. But in the meantime, of course, Corki's over here shoving forward. Out comes the smite there from Fiddlesticks, and he's going to be able to clean up this wave pretty fast. And a little bit of damage going in there onto that one as well. And now we've got Kale and Ezreal going for this blue buff. Going to be going... Yes, it does end up going to the Kale there. Corki tried to jump in to go ahead and steal it. Did not end up working. And actually, he's in a bit of trouble here. Oh, Ezreal really low here. The Kale forced to ulti herself because the Lee Sin came in. Azir is actually going to escape this, though, so not too bad there. And now he's going to go ahead and grab this red buff here. Azir back into the mid lane, shoving it forward again. And CS-wise, he, again, is still right around 20 CS up. So, not too shabby there. Not the greatest in the world. I feel it with, you know, another champion, given that it is Faker, he'd probably be even further ahead. But even still, I mean, he's not doing terribly. Oh, the slow from Janna there. Not really going to do too much, though. He's going to be able to get that with no problem because the Sona is there. Lee Sin is up here. They're not going to be able to engage at all. I like that right there. One more shot would have done it, but it's not going to happen. That pink ward will live another day. And Gnar got another turret up top. So far, only 2 turrets. 4. What? Okay, so I guess Azir turrets count on that because the red team definitely has 4 turrets killed. The blue team, however, they have 2, and it's still showing 4. I know that there was a kill of the Azir turret down here, so I guess that's actually being counted in that turret kill list, which I was not expecting at all. It was a moment of the heck when I saw that, but it actually is technically, given the fact that Azir's turret is in the game, 4 turrets to 4 turrets. But honestly, I don't really count that one because, again, it is an Azir turret, so 2 of those are not quite real. I mean, it still gives gold, but it's nowhere near the same amount. There's no global gold. It's just a localized gold. So you really can't put them on the same thing. Azir going for the blue buff here. Yeah, he definitely has to jump over the wall there. Does a lot of damage pretty quickly here. He now has that death cap, so he's going to be a lot better at damaging people. And, of course, the AP scaling there will help that a lot. Gnar shoving down bottom. He just used the... Well, he was forced to use the big Gnar. Out comes another engagement. Janna actually gets a kill onto the Lee Sin there. Flash goes away from Sona trying to get out. Kale's going for kills a little bit, but nothing too much. In comes Azir, though. and forced to go to back off pretty much immediately. Ezreal flashes over the wall. Lots of damage coming out from the soldiers now, though. Now we really see Azir able to do what he wants to, because he can go ahead and cast these soldiers all over the place. He's going to put up another one. There we go. In goes the Q. Go ahead and take down another 2 champions. That is a triple kill there for Faker. And now they're headed straight to Baron. Should be able to get this with no problem. That is one thing about the Azir. He's really good at just chasing and continuing the damage, because he's got that Q to bring his soldiers into range, and he can go ahead and stutter step all he wants, and his soldiers can continue attacking, I believe. So he's also able to jump to the soldiers, so I mean, even if he gets behind, given the fact that he is stutter stepping, it doesn't matter, because he can jump straight to it. Nice engage there. Flash followed immediately by an ulti to shove that Lee Sin back into range of his teammates, and then he was able to go ahead and secure that kill on him as well. So that was actually a really good flash engage there by Faker. Probably not something you'd expect, given the fact, you know, he's a mage. You don't see mages flash engaging, but that's exactly what that was, and it worked really well. Fiddlestick's going to go ahead and grab this dragon down there, and that's definitely going to put the red team back on a really good footing here. They've got that Baron gut buff. They've got the Baron gold. Now they're going to get the dragon gold, probably. Yeah, they did get it. They are going to lose Fiddlesticks because of it, but in comes Azir as well, getting a lot of damage in here really fast and quickly. Forced to disengage, though. And Gnar is about to turn into Big Gnar. Yeah, there we go. They made the Gnar the Big Gnar. Ezreal goes down thanks to that shove back from Gnar. And honestly, the Azir is not able to do too much damage at all to Gnar, because of course Gnar is so very tanky. So very tanky. But now they're going for Lee Sin. Lee Sin got massively slowed by Kayle and took a lot of damage there from that Q again from Faker. And Faker's just able to decimate people with one Q. Of course, like I said, not Big Gnar. Surrender vote failed for blue team. Why would you try to surrender? You guys are actually doing pretty well. I mean, 6k gold behind. It's actually not all that bad, honestly. I guess they think it is. Out comes the slow there from Janna. I'll follow back on his ears shortly, but that looks like it may be a dead Gnar. Nope, he's able to go ahead and jump off of Sona's head, and he's going to be able to get out of that with no problem. Alright, so Faker is back in the mid lane, continuing to go ahead and shove this forward, and again, still right about the same difference between him and Ryze. Continuing to keep that 20 CS difference. Now he's going in on the Ryze a little bit, does some damage, not really enough though. Ooh, gets him down to a little more than half though. And if Ryze sticks around, he's definitely going to have a problem, because that range on those soldiers is so very huge. Alright, the Ryze is going for the blue buff here. Azir looks like he's going to go ahead and shove this forward. He is indeed. Chunks Sona down to half health instantly. All it was one Q and one auto attack there, so that's pretty huge. He's got to watch out though, as he's about the only one here. Does not want to get engaged on. Janna's now here as well. The Lee Sin takes a decent amount of damage there, and the rest of the red team is actually slowly funneling in here. Don't know if we'll see an engage. Probably not. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. Looks like Fiddlesticks is actually trying to get in position here. He's got his ultimate up, so they may decide to go for it. For now, they're just clearing out the jungle here and working on their way down bottom, because there actually is a pretty big wave pressing towards their tower. Kale's going to go ahead and clear that. And the rest of them are just kind of jungling, just kind of hanging out in the jungle here. They look like they're hiding in a bush here to possibly get a sneak attack off. Not really working so far. There is a pink ward in this bush, so... Oh, I think she guaranteed vision of the Fiddlesticks there. Yeah, as soon as you saw that, she attacked her inside the bush, which guaranteed vision of the Fiddlesticks. As soon as that happened, the blue team went, hey, they're right there. Gnar is here. He's going to go in with the big Gnar. He actually did get feared away. Faker taking a lot of damage, but able to use that ult to disengage there. And so far, really, nobody has died or really taken that much damage outside of Faker, who is right around the quarter of his health right now. The red team going to be able to shove this forward. It looks like Lee Sin actually took a decent amount too, but nowhere near as much as Faker. And really, that fight didn't really result in too much. Big Gnar is actually down, and the ult from the turret, is actually up from Faker. So that's going to give them a pretty safe place to retreat to now. Which, one of the really good things about the Azir is that he actually can do that. There they go, engage onto the Kayle there. And in the meantime, actually Faker's not able to do too much. Hits with a Q there, did a lot of damage to the Sona. Not able to do too much though. Ryze was able to kill Kale, but not before she killed the Lee Sin. And the red team is continuing to press this advantage here. And they may be able to get this tower down. The Q comes out there from Faker, does a lot of damage. This may be a dead Gnar. Down he goes indeed to the Ezreal, and this is indeed going to be a dead turret. They may be able to get the inhibitor as well. It looks like they are, and then they'll probably go ahead and back off. To do otherwise would be fairly suicidal. Yep. Looks like Ezreal's headed top. He's the only one though, and he's now being chased by Corki. Jumps over the wall, but he gets flashed on by Corki. One more shot. Oh, the shield from Janna and the CC. So close. Ezreal ulti comes out. Nice dodge, though. And in comes Azir. Gets those hits off of the minions. If he gets with a Q, there he goes. Gets the flash, followed by the soldier, followed by the Q to go ahead and finish off that Corki. Corki was baited there. And then the ult to go ahead and disengage the Lee Sin. Oh no, you don't get to come at me. And nicely done there. I like it. Now they're doing their best to just go ahead and get the heck out of there. Fiddlesticks is down bot, taking another tower, really widening this gap. And I think you're going to go for this blue buff. There we go. I like how he could do that too. Just go ahead and do a lot of damage before getting over there, and then jump over for the kill. Because obviously, you know, he had to jump over when it was right around here. Because otherwise blue buff would have reset, and then bad things would have happened. So he waited until it was inside the bush, right at the reset point, and then he jumped over to it. So he took really minimal damage there, and was able to go ahead and take that blue down with really no problem whatsoever. Kale hanging out in this bush. Somehow the blue team knows. I guess because they saw her go in there. But she went ahead and shoved it forward. Does a lot of damage very quickly to Corki. He's forced to jump out of that with his rockets. Now the Lee Sin goes in, kicks her away. She is probably dead here, but she ults herself, gonna try to take down the Corki before she goes down, but does not manage to do so. Oh, the Ezreal ulti not gonna get it. Not gonna get it. Oh well. But the red team's just continuing to go ahead and farm this jungle. If a fight does break out, it's actually 4 versus 4. Gnar is split pushing over there, so the blue team is actually forced to play very defensive on this tower because Corki was really low. He had to go back. Gnar is pushing bot, so obviously he's not going to be able to do it. Oh, he's coming in with a teleport. Nope, cancels the teleport, and that actually revealed that ward, so they were able to take it down. Baron is spawning in 5, and it looks like they are getting set up to go ahead and go for it. Lee Sin's hanging around. They're going to take down this ward here. Baron is up now, and they are continuing this. Gnar, of course, has no teleport. He just wasted his teleport, and that may allow these guys to go for this Baron. Looks like they are going to go ahead and start it. Lee Sin still hanging around, getting somewhat zoned here by Ezreal, though. Puts down the ward. It is going to pick up the fact that they are on that Baron. And Gnar's actually headed to Dragon. Looks like the Baron is going to go to this red team for free. Gnar should be able to get the Dragon without too much of a trouble, but honestly, I don't know that that was really worth it. There's a really misplayed teleport there coming out from the Gnar. He thought he was going to go ahead and come around behind him, but instead, he just ended up wasting the teleport. And that ended up losing them. That was a large part, anyway, of why they ended up losing that Baron. And because of that, they are also going to lose a lot of damage onto this tower. Ezreal ulti comes out, clears out these minions, and the tower is instantly dead. They may be able to get the hit, like, kinda doubt it yet. Never mind, just kidding. Kale's got a ton of damage. Yeah, it went down just about instantly. Sorry about that. Alright. Back to the jungle they go. Azir actually goes in and grabs that one. Red buff gonna go to Janna. Not Janna, what the heck? That is definitely not Janna, that is Kale. Alright. Kale securing these ward kills, being very brave, and actually a little suicidal because Lee Sin's hanging around there. Pops him up though, she's gonna be able to get out of this with no problem. Blue inhibitor has respawned in the mid lane, so that's gonna give this red team something to press for here. They already have in super minions headed top. Oh man, Janna, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's gonna go down here. That was a terrible place to back. She thought she was safe, but there was a ward sitting right there. So Gnar was able to jump out, shove her into the wall, which stunned her, and then she just died. Not a chance. And that's gonna make this red team have to play a lot more cautious now. Because even with Baron, you're not gonna win a 4 versus 5 with these. So they're going to have to play pretty cautious for another 20 seconds. It's not going to be enough to quite get rid of Baron. They're still going to have their Baron left, but they're still going to have to play defensive until then. So we do see Azir and Fiddlesticks going ahead, shoving this forward, trying to go for that last tower. I don't know we'll see them be able to take this one because, like I said, Janna's not here. She'll be here pretty shortly. She's up now, so eventually she'll be able to engage here. Lee Sin is hanging around back here. Out they go, and we've actually gotten a bit of an engage here. The Kale ulti was already used. Fiddlesticks is doing what he can just to go ahead and zone them, and of course the Azir tower was able to disengage the blue team there because they can't fight on that. You can't fight under a tower, and that was able to go ahead and shove them back. So, nicely done there by Faker, just instantly reacting, putting up that tower and zoning. I really wish that laser would go away. Stop it. Anyway, he's going in, and actually this tower is just about dead again. The Lee Sin gets slowed. Fiddlesticks is doing quite a bit. There's the disengage again there from Faker. And they were able to take down that Lee Sin as well as the tower, because that tower is definitely dead. Yeah, the inhibitor is going to go down shortly too. And they may end up circling up to that mid inhib, but that's pretty much going to be GG. Blue team's already forced to do their best to defend this, and it's already a really hard thing for them. Now they are 3 inhibs down. This is probably going to be GG. Lee Sin's not up for another 20 seconds, and the red team just has so much in the way of sustain thanks to that Baron buff. And there we go. Faker able to go ahead and get both the Sona and that Rise there. And, sorry, no, you go down too. And yeah, that's going to be GG. Down goes the last turret. The Nexus is the only thing left, and they want to go for the Corki. Down goes Ezreal. Fiddlesticks does not quite die. Azir actually was able to get the kill, though, because of his minions. So nicely done there. That was really cool to watch. And if we look at the build there, actually not seeing much more cooldown reduction. Actually, no more cooldown reduction. So the only cooldown reduction he got there was that Athene's. So, kind of interesting to see. But that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.